Before I start today's notes, I want to remind you of one thing we did before February break, and that was simplifying with fractional exponents. So for example, you might remember doing a problem like 27 to the 2/3 power. And the main thing I want to remind you of was we didn't go back to radicals. We looked at the prime factorization of the base. So we broke 27 down to 3 cubed. And then we use exponent rules, which says power to power you multiply your exponents. So we keep our base. 3 times 2/3 reduces down to 2/1. So we get 3 squared, or 9. This idea of breaking 27 down to its factorization is something we're going to continue in our notes today. In today's notes, we're going to look at the first type of exponential equation, and that's when x is in the exponent position. Some of you might have done this last year, and others this might be new. In either case, I did add in examples where we'll need to review our exponent properties from before February break, and that wouldn't have been something you would have done last year if this is not new for you. So the type of equation we're going to look at today is when x is in the exponent position. I like to call that type 1. So our steps are going to be to try and get like bases, use prime numbers when possible. What I mean by that is we're just going to break things down to its factorization. And then we're going to try to get like bases, and meaning the same on each side. And once we get the bases to be the same, we can use what's called the property of equality. And you'll notice this stuff is all going to come in to play as we continue with exponential equations. But the main focus is right here, where it says if you have the same base b, raised to some power, equal to another same base b, raised to a different power, you can then just say the exponents are equal to each other. So I put a nice simple one to begin with. 3 to the x equals 3 to the 4th. Notice the bases are the same. As long as you have like bases, you can drop the bases and just set the exponent equal to each other. And that equation is solved for you. We don't have anything left to do. Taking a look at number 2, base 7, we have like bases, so we can drop the bases and just set the exponents equal to each other. And whatever type of equation is left, today I'll stick with linear equations. You just go ahead and solve that. So I'm going to minus the x to the right, nothing that you have to show. And then I'm going to add 4 to the left. Again, that's not something you have to show. You can move things from one side to the other without showing your work. As we get to number 3, this is the new part that you might not have done last year. So notice on the left side, we have 2 things that have base 5. We're going to need to combine those using our exponent rules so that we have one base on each side. So being that we do have like bases on the left, base 5 and base 5, and it is a multiplication, remember the product property says that you're going to keep your base and add your exponents. So if I keep my base and I add negative 4x minus 1 plus 2x, we're going to get negative 2x minus 1. And then the right-hand side only has the base of 5. Remember, the exponent on it is understood to be 1. Like base, so we can drop the bases and set the exponents equal to each other. And then just solve the resulting equation. So you're going to add 1, and then you'll divide by negative 2. So the answer to that equation will be x equals negative 1. Similar to that one, number 4, we now have division. Remember, with division, we keep our base and subtract our exponents, but I did put one in here that you need to remember that we need to subtract using parentheses. So I'm going to show that as a step to remind you. So it's keep the base, and then we're going to do the numerator minus the entire denominator. Don't forget to distribute the negative. So we'll get negative 5x plus 9. So combining like terms, negative 8x plus 16. And then we have our same bases on each side, so we can just set the exponents equal to each other. Add a x to the right, we'll get 16x, and divide both sides by 16. We'll get x equals 1. Now we're going to actually start to see what I reminded you of at the top, and that is what happens when we don't have like bases. So here's where we're going to need to break things down to their factorization. So 3 is already the lowest it can be. It can't be rewritten differently, But 81, if you remember, is 9 times 9, and those are each 3 times 3. So 81, or on the right-hand side, we can rewrite that as 3 to the 4th. Now we have like bases. Now we can set the exponents equal to each other. So a lot of what is left is going to be that we need to break the number down to get the bases on each side to be the same. And taking a look at number 6, 7, that's 7 to the first. We can't rewrite 7 at all, it's prime, but 49 is 7 squared. Don't forget that's still raised to the 3x power, and there's our product property, or our power property I should say, where we keep our base and multiply our exponents. Like base, we can set the exponents equal to each other and solve the resulting equation. One thing as we do this, I expect to see the line where you get the like bases before you drop the bases and go to the equation that's left. So I don't want you going right from this step to here. I want you to be able to show me this before you drop it. However, if you simplify the 49 and write 7 squared and go right to this step, that I'm okay with. Now the last row to finish up, just to see a couple other examples. The left side, the 2 is prime. I can't do anything to it, but the 4 I can break down to 2 squared. Be careful on this one, because now when we go to do our power property, we need to multiply each of those exponents. So we need to distribute that 2, which would give us 2 to the 4x minus 2. And there's our like bases. So set the exponents equal to each other, and all we have to do is subtract 4x. Our answer for this one would be -2. Now notice for each of the examples so far, I've only worked on one side of the equation. Here's one where we're going to work on both. 9 can be broken down or rewritten as an equivalent form, 3 squared, as can 27. That's 3 cubed. And here's our power property again, so make sure you distribute that exponent. It would be 6x minus 10, and on this side would be 3x plus 12. Again, this step here is mandatory. I don't want you skipping from the step above to what I'm about to write. Like bases, you can drop your exponents, or drop your bases and set your exponents equal to each other. Let's subtract 3x to the left, add 10 to the right, and then we can just divide. So our answer will be 22/3. Notice they're not all going to come out to nice clean whole numbers or nice fractions, but they shouldn't be too messy to work with. And last but not least, number 5, kind of pulling it all together. I see base 5, base 25, and base 5. They all need to be the same, so we're going to go base 5. So that 25 we can of course rewrite as 5 squared. And then on the left-hand side, here's my product property where I need to keep my base and add my exponents, giving me 5 to the 4x minus 1. On the right side, we're good to go. So there's my like bases. So drop the base and set the exponents equal to each other. Add the 2x to the left to get 6x. Add the 1 to the right to get 2. And divide both sides by 6. In this case, 2 over 6 is something that can be reduced, and I would expect that you do that if so. So we'll get x equals 1/3. From here, just make sure your note sheet is filled in entirety and you watch the entirety of this video, as I will be checking that. You'll now move on to finishing the exponent review sheet from before break and the homework that goes along with this lesson. Please make note of any questions you have. I'll answer those shortly.